What's up, guys? Today we're going to be building a rock climbing mechanism. You guys can thank one of the subscribers for putting this up in the comments, requesting me to build a script for you guys. So if there's anything that you guys are wanting to be built, put it up in the comments and you might see it in the next video. All right. So we have ourselves a rock wall. So as you grab these objects, you'll start to climb up or wherever you place them. Okay. So in order to script this mechanism, what we want to do is we're going to pull out a script, and we want, when world is started, we're going to save the vector of those objects. The vector is the location of where the object's at that moment. So we want to save that location at the beginning of the world start, okay? So the way we do that is we go here to values, we go to set to, and we just drag it over here, press this little copy button to place it there, all right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to variables, and we're going to add a new variable, and we're going to name it vector. Go down to vector, in types, confirm. Now we have a vector. We want to grab that and drag it over here to set variable to value. Our value is going to be the position of the object where it's at when the world starts, all right? And the way we get that is we go over here to operators, this little math section, and then you're going to go ahead and scroll down until you find position of object. Grab that, drag it over to values, and place it into that section. So we have set vector to position of object. We just need to fill in that object, and it's going to be self. So we go over to values, down to value input, and we grab self, and we place it into the object slot. Set vector to position of self. All right. So this is being set when the world is started. That location is set. Now what we need to do is we need to initiate the whole mechanism. And the way we're going to do that is when the player grabs the object, that's how we're going to initiate it. And one little extra thing, it's not just a regular when player grabs object, okay? So we could use when player grabs object, but we need to know what hand is grabbing the object, okay? And the way we find that out is we go to the one just below that with when object is grabbed by player with hand. When you place this in, you're going to see when object is grabbed. Oh, it deleted. That bug, guys, is killing me. But this is okay. Now we have this window. FYI, guys, if your script deletes, because sometimes it will, go into your library. You're going to find it here in the builder menu. Go to script, library, and then you're just going to find the asset. Very important to name your scripts, okay? So we're going to go to climb, and then you could spawn new gizmo. But if you're building a script from the beginning and you haven't even started the script, it's probably going to delete again and again and again. So what I do is I just pop it out by pressing this little pencil button, and now I have it. This won't delete from the world, so I can keep editing it. And as long as I reconnect the scripts once I'm done editing it, everything will work perfectly fine. For some reason, this is a bug, but with meta, you got to do what you got to do, all right? So we're here. When object is grabbed by the is right hand of player. So essentially what's happening here is it's saying when object is grabbed by, let's just do this. Essentially, let me do this real quick for you guys. So imagine this is this, okay? When object is grabbed by, and if it is the right hand, it's going to do this. True, hand of player. So essentially when object is grabbed by the right hand of player, and then we could say whatever, but let's say it's the left hand. When object is grabbed by the is right, nope, it's false. Hand of player. Okay, so that's essentially what this is saying right here. When you grab it with your left, this is false. When you grab it with your right, this is true. Okay, and then so what we need to do here is the first thing that I do is I put into the system, is this a right hand? Okay, and the way we're going to do that is we're just going to say, we're going to go over here to variables. We're going to create a variable. And some of you guys, this might be your first Boolean variable, okay? This thing is very important to building. Like, you can do some crazy stuff with the Boolean, all right? So if this is your first opportunity to interact with it, don't be scared by it. It is a great, great, great tool, okay? So we're gonna make right hand, and we're gonna make a Boolean, okay? So now we have right hand Boolean. So see, true, false. That's all we have right there, all right? That's all we need, really. So we're going to place that over there. And essentially what we're saying is when object is grabbed by, is it the right hand, is it the left hand of player, set right hand to, and essentially we're just trying to figure out, is it true or is it false? And the way we do that is we go to here and we just copy it here. So whatever this is this the left hand? Then this will be false, which means this will be false, which means this right hand will be false. It will not be the right hand. When object is grabbed by the right hand, this is true, which means this is true, which means this is true, essentially meaning he's grabbing it with his right hand, all right? And then when we do that, what we're going to do, once the player grabs the object, we want to make sure that the object doesn't move anywhere, all right? So we're going to do, oh wait, whoops. We're going to go to motion, all right? And we're going to go down to physical motion. And the first one under physical motion is set object motion, physical motion, object physical motion. And we're going to place that right underneath when object is grabbed, all right? And it already has the self, physical motion to false, because we don't want it to move when we grab it, all right? We don't want it to move whatsoever. And then the next thing we're going to do is we need to know, because we're going to send an event, and we need to know who is grabbing the ball so that we can move them around with the ball, essentially. And we want to move them to the ball. And so we need to know what player we're moving to the ball. So what we need to do is we need to go to variables, create a new variable, and we're just going to call it climber. All right. And then we're going to make it a player type. We're going to confirm. And now we have a climber variable. All right. We need to set that climber variable. So we're going to go to values, grab set2, place that underneath. Then we're going to go get our climber variable, and we're going to place it into variable. And we need to set climber to player. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. And this will make sense here in a minute why we need to set the climber, why we need to set the right hand. All right. So we have when object is grabbed by the whichever hand it is, set right hand boolean to true or false depending on which hand is grabbing it, right? Then set self to false because we don't want it to move. We want to set the climber to player. And last but not least, we want to send an event. And actually we're going to send it we're going to send it right away. We're going to send event, all right? When event is received, and then we're just going to grab this and we're going to duplicate it with this little duplicating button right here. Just slide shift to the right. So now we have a loop going on. Once the object is grabbed, we have a loop going on, all right? Now to close this loop, because we don't want it constantly running, we want to also do something where we want to make a second boolean, and we're going to name it held. All right, and we're going to set that. And honestly, what we can do, all right, what I would do to make stuff fast, watch this. Grab this, duplicate it. So now I have two. Grab this little false button, duplicate it right here, boom. Then grab this held, bring it over here, duplicate it, all right? So when object is grabbed, we're going to set held to true, okay? So when object's grabbed, set held to true, set right hand to true or not, depending on if it's the right hand, set self's physical motion to false, set climber to player, send event, and then this right here, this is where it might get complicated for those newer scripters. We're going to use some if statements. So if held, now if you don't understand this and you need more visual, this is your visual. Essentially, if you do that, it means exactly the same as this, okay? So you can either do this or you can do this. They mean the same thing. They mean held is true, okay? If held is true, or you can do this. If held equals true, all right? This is just a little bit extra work, but when I was first scripting, this helped me understand a little bit more, okay? And then we're going to place send under that because that closes the loop. When we add, go down to grab events. When object is released by player, we're going to go up here, grab this, drag it down to here, duplicate it, boom. So now we have one up there, one down here, and we're going to turn this one to false. So essentially when this is grabbed, this is turned on, which then sends this event and this loop is enabled. And then when it's released, this loop is turned off, allowing the, essentially making sure there's not constant loops going off in your world. You don't want constant loops going off in your world because it'll run really bad, all right? So we turned off the loop. Now what we need to do is we need to move the player. We need to move the player along the rock wall as we're grabbing these objects. The way we do that is we're going to go to this My Event section, and we're going to do another if statement. Okay. And then to show you it's the same thing, what we're going to do is we're going to take this right hand, we're going to drop it down to here. So essentially, if it's held and if right hand is enabled, what we're going to do is we need to move the player. And the way we're going to move the player is we're going to set their player velocity, player physical velocity. All right. And what player? Oh, climber. So go ahead and grab climber, duplicate it. Okay. And where are we moving them to? All right. We're going to move them, and here's some math. So we're going to grab this multiplication sign. We're going to place it here. And then we're going to grab the minus sign. And we're going to place it here. All right. Let me scratch my eye real quick. Oh. All right. So we're going to add velocity of climber to. We need to get position of object. Because we're moving the player, essentially, we're moving the player in between the position of the object and the position of the hand. All right. So we're going to go to player, position of player, grab that, place it there. And we're going to fill this in for the right hand because right hand is true, right? So if this is the same thing as this, essentially, we could place this down here. That means the exact same thing, right? So if right hand is true, we're going to set the player velocity of climber to the position of the object, self, minus the position of the right hand of the climber, okay? Now, sorry, we need to add a number input for this section here. And essentially, we're just multiplying that. And I put 7. If you end up putting any other number, it's going to be bouncy or you're going to be sluggish. 7's good, perfect number. And essentially, that's just like distance. This is going to be essentially going to take you straight to the position of the object, but not bounce you around. All right. Make sure you have that number. That's 7. And then what we're going to do is, what about the left hand? What happens if this comes through as a left hand? Okay, well, if it's not the right hand, what else do we do? Oh, well, you're going to set the player velocity of the climber to the position of self, but instead minus the position of the left hand of the climber. Okay? So we have this set up, all right? You're going to be moving, this is how we're going to move the character. And then as soon as I let go, object released, held is turned off, and this whole thing will be turned off. Okay? And then the only thing we need to do is grab this, set climber, drag this down to here to make sure that the climber is not always the same player. We're going to go to values, find server player, and place it right there. This essentially clears climber, all right? So that the person is not always connected to the ball. And then we're going to grab, oh no, we already have that, huh? Yep, cool. Oh, and then the last thing now is to return the object if it gets moved. Look, this one got moved from its original place. If it gets moved, we're going to move it back to its location. Move self to vector, the one we set at the beginning of the script up here. All right, super simple, guys. I'm going to read it off to you. When world is started, set vector to position of self. When object is grabbed by, is it the right hand? If it is, set right hand to true. If not, set it to false, okay? And then you're going to set held to true. You're going to set physical motion to false. You're going to set climber to player. And you're going to send the event. When the event is received, we're going to make sure that held is true. And we're going to constantly send a loop. And in that loop, we're going to see Is it the right hand that's being used? And if it is, use the right hand as the position to move the player. And if it's left hand, use the left hand. Okay? And then when it's released, set held to false, which closes this loop. Set climber to server player, which removes the player from the climber and makes it empty, essentially. And then move self back to the original vector, just in case it gets moved. All right? And then now all we have to do is we just have to attach it. So I'm going to take a sphere out. Make it interactive. Attach the script. You can make them smaller, big, whatever you want. And then just duplicate them. And then climb. So, super simple script. I made it simplified for you guys. And for those who still have a hard time, let's see. Those who still have a hard time, just follow along. All right. And then you'll be good, right? Again, rule of thumb, don't add too many. If you have 200 of these, your animation here in your capacity will go up dramatically, okay? Because they are animated objects, they're grabbable objects. That one disappeared. Where'd it go? Oh, it's because I copied them. Yeah, you would want to reset the world first. But anyway, don't go overboard with them because they're animated objects and they will take up your animation space. And then your world will be more laggy. But there you go. You got yourself a climbing script. If you guys want something specifically built, this is kind of your chance to say, hey, I'm having a hard time building this. Can you help us out? And I'll figure it out for you guys and put it together. But I'm only doing stuff that I can really think of right now. So help me out with suggestions in the comments. And if you guys like this type of content, make sure you guys like it, you subscribe so you can find more of it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.